dinner, my sister stood up and announced, "We voted, and you're not family anymore." Everyone cheered. I laughed softly and said, "Then I guess you won't need this." I placed a folder on the table. The moment she opened it, she started screaming. "Before we carve the turkey," Natalie said, standing up with that rehearsed smile of hers, "there's something we need to say." The room went quiet. Forks paused midair. My stomach nodded. I recognized that tone instantly. It was the same one she'd used to get me grounded at 14 for a party I never attended. "We had a family vote," she continued, looking around like a pageant queen about to be crowned, "and we've decided you're not family anymore." Silence. Then cheering. My cousin Laura clapped like she was at a live concert. Uncle Mitch lifted his wine glass high. And then, to my shock, even my own mother laughed and said, "Well, someone had to speak up." I sat there frozen, staring at my plate. The stuffing had gone cold, but my blood was boiling. My dad didn't even look at me. He just sipped his beer and muttered, "It's probably for the best." "Wow," I said, pushing my chair back slowly. "You guys actually rehearsed this?" Natalie grinned wider. "You've been toxic for ages. We're done sugarcoating it." "You were never really family," Mom said casually, reaching for the cranberry sauce like we were discussing the weather. "We're all in agreement." I looked around the table. Not one person spoke up. Not one. "Good," I said quietly, reaching into my bag. I figured this might happen. I pulled out a thick folder and placed it gently in the center of the table. The sound it made, a solid thunk, cut through the laughter. Natalie blinked. "What is that?" I smiled, leaned back in my chair, and folded my arms. "Why don't you find out?" She snatched it up and ripped it open, that snide little smirk still on her face, the one she always wore when she thought she was winning. She flipped to the first page. Her smile vanished. Her face went ashen. Her eyes darted from page to page, faster and faster. Then she let out a scream, a bone-chilling, straight out of a horror movie shriek. The chair clattered to the floor as she shot up, slamming the folder closed like it was burning her hands. "You monster!" she cried. "You sick, twisted!" Gasps echoed around the table. Joel, her husband, snatched the folder and opened it. His jaw dropped. He looked at me, then back at the pages. Is this real?" I nodded once. Every word, every receipt, every screenshot, all documented. The table went dead silent. You could hear someone's fork clink in the kitchen. My mother's mouth opened, then closed again, like a fish gasping for air. "You thought I'd roll over?" I said, rising to my feet. "You were convinced I'd keep my mouth shut, let you walk all over me, and drain my bank account dry." I leaned forward, locking eyes with Natalie. "But your little charade ends today." "What are you talking about?" Mom whispered, her voice shaking. I turned to her. "You really want to know?" Page 1. Bank statements showing $30,000 stolen from my account over 3 years. Natalie's face was pure white now. "That's not." Page 4. I continued. "Forged signatures. Your handwriting. Mom helped, apparently." Page 7. Credit cards opened in my name. Page 12. The loan you took out using my social security number. Joel stood up, backing away from Natalie like she was radioactive. "You told me that money was from your inheritance?" "There was no inheritance," I said. "She stole every penny from me." "This is insane." Dad finally spoke up. "You're making this up for attention." Page 18. I cut him off. "Text messages between you and Natalie, discussing how to keep me quiet. You knew. You all knew." The room was suffocating in silence. Uncle Mitch set down his wine glass with a shaking hand. "I stayed quiet for years," I said, my voice steady now. "I paid for Natalie's wedding. I covered her soul-searching trip to Europe. I helped with rent when Joel lost his job. I did it because you were family." I grabbed my coat from the back of my chair. "But since I'm not family anymore, I figured the police should know. They have copies of everything. So does the FBI. Turns out identity theft and tax fraud are federal crimes." Natalie collapsed into her chair, sobbing. "You can't do this." "I already did. They'll be here Monday morning." Mom's face had gone from red to ghostly pale. "You're going to destroy this family." "No," I said, heading toward the door. "You destroyed it the moment you voted me out." I paused at the doorway and looked back one last time. "Enjoy your turkey. I hear prison food isn't nearly as good." The last thing I heard as I walked out was Natalie's voice, broken and desperate, begging Joel not to leave. "Best Thanksgiving ever."